The conditions in the Inko City Detention Center were relatively rudimentary. Deputy Squadron Leader Zhang Zhihao, along with investigators Lu Zhongqing and Jiang Lu Tao, interrogated Hao Jinsai. Deputy Squadron Leader Zhang conducted the main questioning, Jiang Lu Tao handled the recording, and Lu Zhongqing was responsible for guarding Hao Jinsai. After the suicide incident involving Li Dafa, the investigators lived in constant fear every day, terrified that another mishap might occur. Hao Jinsai spoke neither quickly nor slowly, openly confessing to the heinous crimes he had committed in Weihai. At 12:20, Captain Li delivered 4 boxed meals to the interrogation room in the detention center. By this time, Jiang Lu Tao had finished organizing Hao Jinsai's confession, with only the review and signature remaining. "Everyone's hungry. Let's eat first and continue working after the meal," said Deputy Squadron Leader Zhang as he handed out a boxed meal and a bottle of mineral water to each person, including one for Hao Jinsai. A short while later, after taking a bite of food, Hao Jinsai said he needed water. Investigator Lu Zhongqing handed him a bottle of mineral water. Zhang Zhihao took his meal to a table next to the interrogation room to eat. He had only taken 2 bites when Lu Zhongqing rushed over and said, "Squadron Leader Zhang, something's wrong. Hao Jinsai is sweating profusely and convulsing all over." Zhang Zhihao dropped his chopsticks and dashed over in one stride. He saw Hao Jinsai's head slumped to the side, his face ashen, eyes rolled back, unable to speak. "Get him to the hospital for emergency treatment immediately," Zhang shouted loudly. With the help of detention center officers, the interrogation team carried Hao Jinsai to the local hospital for rescue efforts. On the way to the hospital, Deputy Squadron Leader Zhang called Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong on his mobile phone. "Bureau Chief Zhong, something happened to Hao Jinsai. He was sweating heavily and convulsing. We're on our way to the municipal hospital right now." Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong Chen and Captain Chi Mugue had just picked up their chopsticks to eat when they received the call. They immediately put them down and said urgently, "I'm coming right now." The investigators quickly loaded Hao Jinsai into the vehicle. 5 minutes later, he arrived at the emergency room of the municipal hospital. The doctor diagnosed, "He has ingested poison. We need to perform gastric lavage immediately." A nurse holding a mouth opener tried to pry open Hao Jinsai's tightly clenched jaw but couldn't. With a trembling voice she said, "His teeth are clenched so tightly, I can't open his mouth at all." Standing nearby, Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong Chun was frantic. He snatched the mouth opener from the young nurse and said, "Let me try to open his mouth. We must save him." Zhong Chun had never performed a rescue before, never used a mouth opener, and had never done gastric lavage. Yet to save Hao Jinsai, he acted as a doctor for the moment. After sweating profusely, he finally managed to open Hao Jinsai's mouth and insert the lavage tube into his stomach. Zhong Chun repeatedly washed his stomach several times, removing roughly half a basin of fluid, then had him transferred to the emergency treatment room. The doctor said, "We don't know what poison he took, so we can't treat him properly yet." Zhong Chun said anxiously, "Consult remotely online right away." The doctor replied helplessly, "I'm afraid there's no time." Zhong Chun, with a stern expression, kept gesturing and said, "Doctor, this is no ordinary patient. You must do everything possible to save him. Here's my rescue plan. If his heart is failing, give him cardiac stimulants. If his blood pressure is abnormal, stabilize it. If his breathing is irregular, provide oxygen. Treat whatever is wrong. That's the best plan." Hao Jinsai remained unconscious. With no other options, the doctors followed Zhong Chen's instructions for treatment. Around 4 p.m., Hao Jinsai finally regained consciousness. Zhong Chen, who had been waiting by his side the entire time, let out a long sigh of relief. His emotions at that moment were extremely complicated, bittersweet, indescribable. On the 22nd, Hao Jinsai's condition had basically stabilized. Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong personally interrogated him again, hoping to learn the whereabouts of the gold, jewelry, and precious stones. "Hao Jinsai, besides the 9 pieces you gave to Zhu Jingmei, where did you put the rest of the gold and jewelry? You were greedy enough to keep it all for yourself." Hao Jinsai's thin, long face was deathly pale. In a weak voice he said, "I gave all those items to Zhu Jingmei at the time." Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong spoke sternly and righteously, Given the gravity of your crimes, don't you want to atone to the people by turning over those items? Hao Jinsai stared blankly out the window, a sinister aura emanating from his gaunt face. I killed 6 people. Dying 6 times wouldn't be enough. It's already come to this. Whether I talk or not, I'm still going to die. Zhongchan said earnestly. Your thinking is wrong, Hao Jinsai. If you don't hand over the stolen goods, you'll leave disaster for your family. If any family member uses those items, they'll be guilty of harboring stolen property. Let me make this crystal clear. We will not stop until we recover those stolen goods. Hao Jinsai still refused to disclose the location. He insisted he had given everything to Zhu Jingmei. He was convinced she was already dead. He knew her love for him was genuine and that her character was strong-willed. She would never allow herself to be captured alive. Since Zhu Jingmei was dead, he believed that by claiming he gave everything to her, the police would have no proof. This was his final clever calculation, to protect the gold and jewelry for his wife and children, his loved ones. The leadership of the Guizhou City Public Security Bureau looked at Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong Chan, whose mouth was covered in fever blisters, and said, Old Zhong, you've all worked extremely hard these past days. We're deeply moved. The case is solved now, you should go home and rest. Zhong Chan replied firmly, as long as those stolen goods aren't recovered, I'm not leaving. Even if I have to search every inch of Guizhou's land, I will find them. How could I leave with only these 9 pieces of gold jewelry? Only after everything is recovered will I go. The Guizhou leadership was deeply touched and immediately said, If you're staying, we will fully support your work. Zhong Chan confronted Hao Jinsai 2 more times, but both attempts failed. It seemed nearly impossible to get the location of the gold and jewelry from his mouth. Unable to sleep, he pondered all night how to move Hao Jinsai emotionally and make him confess. Time was running out, he needed a new approach. That's it, go to Hao Jinsai's family members. Surely someone among them knew where the loot was hidden. Zhong Chan thought. Hao Jinsai's closest relatives now were his wife, his father, and his father-in-law. He might have left the gold and jewelry to them, to pass down to his descendants. With strong assistance from local police, Zhong Chan located Hao Jinsai's wife. Your husband Hao Jinsai robbed a large quantity of gold and jewelry in Weihai. You must know where it's hidden. Zhong Chan struck first. I didn't see anything. I never get involved in his affairs, she replied, appearing honest. Zhong Chan said, You already know what will happen to Hao Jinsai. He will face severe punishment under the law. You can't let your children bear the guilt too. Possessing those stolen goods is itself a crime. Crying, Hao Jinsai's wife said, I really didn't see any jewelry. But one day I saw him bury a package under a tree in the orchard contracted by my sister. She led the task force to her sister's orchard. It's buried under this apple tree, she said, pointing. The investigators began digging. At a depth of about 1.3 meters, they unearthed a tightly bound package. When opened, it revealed glittering gold, platinum, diamonds, and jewelry. At 8 p.m., the task force returned from the mountain, their hearts filled with indescribable joy and relief. Without even eating dinner, they set up tables in a large room, laid out every piece of gold, platinum, and jewelry, and carefully inventoried and recorded each item. Gold jewelry, 830 pieces. Platinum jewelry, 178 pieces. Gemstone jewelry, 250 pieces. 18K gold jewelry, 90 pieces. Other gold items, over 300 pieces. Together with the 9 pieces recovered from Zhu Jingmei, the total matched exactly the items missing from Huanyu Gold Store. Not a single piece was missing. The exhaustion of recent days vanished from Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong Chen's face. He looked refreshed and suddenly years younger. Pointing to the package worth over 1 million yuan in gold, platinum, diamonds, and jewelry, he said meaningfully to young Deputy Team Leader Yu Lianhai, You're in charge of guarding this package. We will all protect you. From that moment, Yu Lianhai held the heavy package tightly in his arms, never letting go for a second. He held it in the car, held it on the boat, never daring to sleep. At 4 a.m. on September 26th, just as dawn was breaking, Deputy Bureau Chief Zhong Chen of the Weihai City Public Security Bureau and his team of 9 stepped off the boat carrying the heavy load of gold, platinum, and jewelry. Exhausted but triumphant, they returned victorious. The 5th Bureau of the Ministry of Public Security sent a congratulatory telegram to the Weihai City Public Security Bureau. The Weihai Municipal Party Committee and government awarded the Bureau 200,000 yuan and held a grand commendation ceremony to honor those who contributed. The task force received a collective first-class merit citation, while individual contributors were awarded second and third-class merits. Through online pursuit, Liaoning police apprehended the last suspect, Jin Songgue, in Dandong City, Liaoning Province in October. In the early spring of 2004, the robbery-murder suspects Hao Jinsai, Li Dafa, Yi Tianhe, Li Zhengxin and Jin Songgue were executed in Gaizhou City, Inko Liaoning Province.